theta equals sine squared theta. If I want to find the slope of a normal, I have to first find the slope of the tangent. Now, I want you to be real careful when you're doing a trig function like this. First of all, you need to remember that sine squared theta really means sine of theta squared. So, we're going to do this derivative two ways. We're going to do it where we would write it like this. Okay. What rule will we use if we're going to take the derivative, the product rule? So I'm going to circle box. So f prime, no, that's not enough room. Don't write this one down. Just think through it with me. F prime of theta is, what's the derivative of the first? Cosine times the second. So this is cosine theta sine theta plus the derivative of the second. Cosine theta times the first. You see that those are the same? So the derivative is 2 cosine theta sine theta. Right? Now, let's do it using the chain rule and see if we get 2 cosine theta sine theta. Well, we better, right? When you do chain rule, you've got to think, what's the inner function and what's the outer function? I got something being squared. That's the outer function. What am I squaring? Sine theta. So something squared is my outer function. Sine theta is my inner function. Are we good there? So f prime of theta. How do I take the derivative of something being squared? 2 times that to the first power times the derivative of the inner function. And that's exactly what we got in the product rule. Now I want to find the derivative at 3 pi over 4. So 2 sine of 3 pi over 4 cosine 3 pi over 4. The darn unit circle just won't leave you all alone, will it? There's 3 pi over 4. What's your reference angle? Pi over 4. That's the Esther working her hand. Trying to fit. It's fine. I don't care if you work your hand. What's the sine of 3 pi over 4? Square root 2 over 2. What's the cosine of 3 pi over 4? Negative square root 2 over 2. There you go. So this is 2 times all right, so what do we get? We get 2, 4 divided by 4. We get negative 1. Does that answer the question? Technically, no, right? That's the slope of the tangent line. I need the slope of the normal. The slope of the normal is going to be 1, right? Remember, opposite reciprocal, perpendicular. The slope of the normal is 1. Now, as I told you, if you look at the rest of your notes, this is practice. Here we go. Find the derivative of each of the following functions by applying the chain rule. All right, first one. What's your outer function? X cubed. The outer function is cubing something, and the inner function is 3x squared plus 2. Good. Derivative of the outer function, so the derivative of cubing something is 3 times that to the second power times the derivative of the inside. What's the derivative of the inside function? 6x. Just clean this up as 3 times 6x, 18x times 3x squared plus 2 quantity squared. Chase is going to go ahead and multiply it all out, but okay. G of x. Let's do a rewrite on g of x first. This is 2x plus 5 raised to the 1/2 power. What's your outer function? Raising something to the 1/2 power. So g prime of x equals 1/2 of that to the negative 1/2 times the derivative of the inside. Do not leave negative exponents. You can leave it like that, or either one, doesn't matter. Either one of those is fine. I am probably going to leave it right there. Unless, no, I'm probably going to leave it right there. Change my mind on saying what I was going to say. All right, next one. What's that say? I'm going to rewrite that. X plus 2 to the 2/3. Good. All right, h prime of x. The derivative of the outside function is 2/3 of x plus 2 to the negative 1/3 times the derivative of the inside or inner function, which is just 1, right? So 2 over 3 times x plus 2 to the 1/3. Questions there? Even putting a root, putting the root symbol? Don't. Yes. Can you? Yes. Do you have to? No. All right, let's look at big F here. Again, we're going to do a rewrite. How does that rewrite? Yes? What am I going to do with that 5? Same thing I would do with it if it was 5x squared. I'd do 2 times 5, right? So 1/3 times 5. Please do not put 1 and 2/3. Leave everything as fractions. Derivative of the outer function, 1/3. It's going to come down, so that's going to be 5 times 1/3 times x squared plus 2x to the, you subtract 1, times the derivative of the inner function. That's going to be 2x plus 2. Again, we're not going to leave negative exponents. So let's figure out what we got. Let's get rid. 5 times 2x plus 2 over 3 times x squared plus 2x to the 2/3 power. Here we go. We got to do a rewrite. G of x equals cosine, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm squaring, but I'm taking the cosine of 3x. That's what I'm squaring. Cosine of 3x times cosine of 3x. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a chain rule twice. This is an f of g of h of x. Yes, because 3x, and then I'm taking the cosine of that, and then I'm squaring all that. So this is an f of g of h of x. Okay? Now, you can do it. Here we go. G prime of x. Now, what is the outermost function? Squaring something. So it's going to be 2 times that to the first power. We good there? Times the derivative of the next outermost function, which is cosine. What's the derivative of cosine? Negative sign. So minus sine of 3x. Now, notice I put parentheses right here. If you just put minus, then it's going to look like a minus, not like a times a negative. Times the derivative of the innermost function. Clean up what you can clean up. You say, well, I don't even know what I can clean up. You can multiply that 3 times that 2. And times that negative 1. So it's going to give you negative 6 cosine 3x sine 3x.